California's new Real Estate Commission. Rules: what they mean for homebuyers and sellers. The real estate market in California has always been a dynamic arena, often setting trends for the rest of the nation. But as of August 17, 2024, the way real estate transactions are conducted in the Golden State has undergone a significant transformation. A recent settlement by the National Association of Realtors, NAR, has introduced new rules that change how commissions are negotiated, paid, and disclosed during real estate transactions. These changes have sparked a mix of reactions from real estate professionals, homebuyers, and sellers alike. In this blog post, we'll delve into the specifics of these new rules, explore the potential benefits and drawbacks, and discuss how they might shape the future of California's real estate market. Whether you're a seasoned real estate investor or a first-time homebuyer, understanding these changes is crucial to navigating this new landscape. The old commission model, a brief overview. Before diving into the changes, it's important to understand how real estate commissions traditionally worked. Under the old model, when a home was sold, the seller would typically pay a commission of up to 6% of the sale price. This commission was then split between the seller's agent and the buyer's agent, with each receiving around 3%. The funds would be dispersed from the seller's proceeds at the close of escrow, effectively making the seller responsible for paying both their own agent and the buyer's agent. This model was standard practice across the U.S., and while it seemed straightforward, it was not without its critics. The federal ruling that led to the recent changes stemmed from concerns that this system artificially inflated commissions, as it required sellers' agents to offer compensation to buyers' agents in order to list homes on NAR-affiliated multiple listing services, MLS. The new rules: a shift in power. The changes that took effect on August 17, 2024, represent a fundamental shift in how real estate transactions are handled in California. Here's a breakdown of what's new. Seller discretion on buyer's agent commission. Sellers are no longer obligated to pay the buyer's agent commission. While they can still choose to do so, the decision and the amount are entirely up to them. This move gives sellers more control over their transaction costs. No more commission advertising on MLS. Real estate agents can no longer advertise commission rates to buyers' agents on MLS listings. This transparency measure aims to prevent any perceived pressure on sellers to offer higher commissions. Formalized agreements for buyers and their agents. Similar to how sellers have formal agreements with their agents, buyers must now have a clear and formal agreement outlining the commission they will pay their agent. This change introduces more transparency and accountability into the process. Increased paperwork and complexity. With these new rules, real estate transactions have become more complex, requiring additional forms and disclosures. Both buyers and sellers will need to navigate more paperwork, potentially leading to a steeper learning curve. The pros: empowering sellers and increasing transparency. 1. More control for sellers. One of the most significant benefits of these changes is the increased control they give to sellers. In the past, sellers had little choice but to pay the buyer's agent commission, regardless of whether they felt it was justified. Now, sellers can decide whether to contribute to the buyer's agent commission, and if so, how much. This shift allows sellers to better manage their costs and tailor their approach based on the specifics of their transaction. 2. Greater transparency. By requiring formalized agreements between buyers and their agents, the new rules bring a higher level of transparency to real estate transactions. Buyers will now have a clearer understanding of what they're paying their agent and what services they're receiving in return. This transparency can help build trust between buyers and their agents, leading to smoother transactions. 3. Potential for lower overall costs. For some sellers, the ability to opt out of paying the buyer's agent commission could lead to lower overall transaction costs. This reduction in cost could be particularly beneficial in a high-priced market like California, where commission fees can add up quickly. Sellers might use these savings to offer more competitive pricing, which could be advantageous in a buyer's market. The cons: complexity and uncertainty in the market. 1. Increased complexity and paperwork. While transparency is a positive change, the increased complexity that comes with these new rules cannot be ignored. Real estate transactions in California will now involve more paperwork, more negotiations, and potentially more confusion, especially for first-time buyers and sellers. Agents and clients alike will need to navigate a steeper learning curve, which could lead to frustration and delays. 2. Potential for uneven market impact. The impact of these changes may not be uniform across all areas of California. In high-demand markets like the Bay Area, where inventory is low and competition is fierce, the new rules may have minimal impact on pricing or the number of offers a property receives. However, in less competitive markets, where sellers are more motivated to attract buyers, the changes could lead to a greater emphasis on negotiating commissions, potentially complicating transactions. 3. Uncertainty about long-term effects. The long-term effects of these changes are still unknown. While some believe that increased transparency and seller control will benefit the market, others worry that these changes could lead to unintended consequences, such as a reduction in the number of homes listed on the market or a decrease in buyer representation. With no crystal ball to predict the future, only time will reveal the true impact of these rules. Navigating the new real estate landscape. Tips for buyers and sellers. Given the significant changes in California's real estate commission rules, both buyers and sellers need to approach their transactions with a clear understanding of the new landscape. Here are some tips to help navigate these changes. For sellers, consult with your agent. Before making any decisions about commissions, consult with your real estate agent to understand how these changes might affect your specific situation. Your agent can provide valuable insights into market conditions and help you develop a strategy that aligns with your goals. Be prepared for negotiations. With the power to decide whether to pay the buyer's agent commission, sellers should be ready to negotiate. Consider how offering or withholding a commission might impact the attractiveness of your listing. Understand the paperwork. The new rules introduce additional forms and disclosures. Make sure you fully understand the paperwork involved in your transaction and ask your agent for clarification if needed. For buyers, know what you're paying for. With the requirement for a formalized agreement with your agent, take the time to review and understand the commission structure. Ensure that you're clear on what services your agent will provide and how much you'll be paying for those services. Consider agent representation. While the new rules allow buyers to negotiate their agent's commission, it's still essential to have professional representation in a real estate transaction. A knowledgeable agent can help you navigate the complexities of the market and protect your interests. Be prepared for more paperwork. Just like sellers, buyers will need to deal with increased paperwork. Stay organized and keep track of all forms and agreements to avoid any misunderstandings or delays. The broader implications. What this means for the real estate industry. Beyond the immediate impact on buyers and sellers, these changes could have broader implications for the real estate industry in California and beyond. Here are some potential industry-wide effects to consider. 1. Evolution of the realtor's role. As the commission structure changes, the role of real estate agents may also evolve. Agents will need to adapt to the new rules by enhancing their transparency and focusing on the value they bring to their clients. This shift could lead to a more service-oriented approach, where agents emphasize their expertise and the tangible benefits they provide. 2. Potential for market adjustments. The real estate market is highly sensitive to changes in regulations, and the new commission rules could trigger adjustments in how homes are priced, marketed, and sold. For instance, sellers who choose not to pay the buyer's agent commission might need to offer other incentives, such as lower listing prices or additional home upgrades, to attract buyers. 3. Legal and ethical considerations. The introduction of these rules also raises important legal and ethical questions. Realtors will need to ensure they are fully compliant with the new regulations and that they operate with the highest level of integrity. This emphasis on ethics could lead to a stronger focus on professional standards and accountability within the industry. Conclusion: embracing the new era of real estate in California. California's new real estate commission rules mark a significant departure from the traditional model, introducing both opportunities and challenges for buyers, sellers, and real estate professionals. While the changes empower sellers and increase transparency, they also bring added complexity and uncertainty to the market. As the real estate industry adjusts to these new regulations, it's essential for all parties involved to stay informed, seek professional advice, and approach transactions with a clear understanding of the potential benefits and pitfalls. Whether these changes will lead to a more efficient and equitable market or create new hurdles remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the real estate landscape in California will never be the same. Hashtags: #RealEstateCalifornia, #Commission Rules, #Homebuying Tips, #Seller Strategy, #Realtor Life, #California Real Estate, #Market Trends, #Housing Market, #Real Estate Changes, #Property Sales.